Hey guys, what's up? My name is Nicole Maston. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and take a look around. I hope you guys will find something that intrigues you and you'll stick around. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you can be notified when I post videos just like this one. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing our summer curriculum choices and just summer plans as far as homeschool. So if you've been around for a while, you know that last year we started all year round homeschool. And I was super hesitant about that because I didn't want my daughter to resent me for making her go all summer long with school, especially when other kids are out of school. But I have found that she doesn't lose her skills. I'm not as strict during the summer, but it keeps us on a good schedule for both my daughter and my son. And honestly, we thrive in the summer, and I honestly think it's because we don't have the holidays and things that kind of, get in the way of school. So I don't know about you guys, but when the holidays hit, it definitely feels like school is more of a chore at home. So we love to really just kick off in the summer month and just kind of propel us into like our new school year. So if you guys have questions during this video, definitely leave in the comments. I always try to go back and answer those questions as best as I can. And if you're on Instagram, go ahead and give me a follow over there so then you can see like each day how I breadcrumb our homeschool into my stories. And I also, can message over there and answer your questions, as well as I have highlights over there, sharing just like homeschool resources, and I can share links over there so you guys can check out like how to purchase certain things along with discount codes, etc. So definitely give me a follow over there. If you're over on Instagram, I'd love to connect further with you guys. But today I'm going to dive right into basically how we're going to start our summer school. And so we are actually starting next Monday. I originally had planned for starting this past Monday, which would have been the 5th, but life gets in the way at times, and honestly I kind of went into way more depth with planning, so I wanted a full week to really just lay everything out, be more prepared than I felt, because yes, when Monday hit I was like, I still feel like I don't have everything prepared. So we're gonna start next Monday. So good thing is with I feel like year-round school is you do have that flexibility to start and stop when you need to and take breaks and things like that. So if you guys have questions about year-round school, definitely don't hesitate to ask. Like I said, I know I was super hesitant to start, but I'm super excited to continue doing year-round school this year because it truly has been a blessing since we started last year. So first things first, I have this little homeschool planner, and I just printed off the weeks for what I'm gonna be using between June and September. They just came out with the new updated version for the 2023 to 2024 school year, and y'all, the updates are amazing. There's so many things she added to it, but I will post the link. You can get the digital copy or you can get the hard copy. I believe the digital copy is $18 and the hard copy, which would be shipped to you, would be $45. I have the digital copy, and you can edit it, which is super awesome. And then I just print it myself, and then I have a binding machine, so I just put the comb binding on it. So I'm just basically gonna take you guys through what our day is gonna look like from Monday through Friday. Okay, so I have shared this actually in previous videos, really how we start our morning. So you can see our schedule over here. That's our visual schedule that we're gonna continue using. And there are a ton of extra cards that you can use. This all came from the daily rhythm bundle, which I also love. Lila has her chore chart through there. Luke's not quite ready for chores yet, but I eventually will do that for him. And then our visual schedule, and that can also be purchased through Treehouse Schoolhouse. I'll post the link for that below as well. But we love the visual schedule. It really gives Lila that, kind of what I expect out of our day. And so we always start with our morning time, and I love how the planner is laid out. It shows like morning time, and so we don't follow schedules though, we follow rhythms, because I have tried time schedules in the past where I say, okay, by 9 o'clock we need to start school, by this time we need to do this, I want to have lunch at this time, and honestly, you know, with kids, schedules don't always work. Things can get thrown in there and it just kind of creates that extra layer of pressure to try to perform within that scheduled time. So instead, probably about the same time last year, we switched to what I call daily rhythms, and we just have like our morning block of expectation. And so Lila knows that during the morning block, you have to make your bed. You do your morning, you know, group of chores, which is making her bed, getting dressed, getting ready for the day. I make my bed. I start a load of laundry during that time frame. I also will unload the dishwasher. That way we can load it throughout the day just to kind of keep the sink clear, and it makes my nighttime cleanup a lot easier. And then we start our morning menu. So morning menu consists of breakfast for the kids and, sorry, I should have pulled all this out, but breakfast for the kids, and then they do their morning menus. And so Luke has his, which is the preschool version, and then Lila has the classic version. And this is also through Treehouse Schoolhouse. You're gonna see a lot through them. We absolutely love that company, and I actually will get discount codes occasionally through them, so I will share them when I have them. But definitely check out the morning time bundle. It's great. We love it. I can give you guys more of a glimpse inside of this, but it basically takes them through the weather, takes them through what they should be wearing, takes them through the calendar time, moon phases, and then another calendar there. So you can also see that more in depth on the website, and I'll link this below as well. So we do morning menu. I get the kids breakfast, mom gets her cup of coffee, and I try to wake up a little bit because I'm not a morning person. And then we kind of settle into our time here at the table. So I am super excited to start this devotional. We've done different devotionals in the past, and we love to find either through the Daily Grace Company. I've found devotionals for Lila and I to do, but this time we're going to do a science devotional. So this is called How Great Is Our God. I can give you guys the link for this as well. It can be purchased on Amazon, but it's 100 different devotionals, so for each day. And I'll show you guys a little glimpse inside. So you have your little story here, and then you have a prayer, and then like a how great section, and so you read that. So we're gonna do the devotional 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then from there, like I said, we're all still sitting around the table. Lila will do her handwriting book. I am waiting for her new one to come, but this is the handwriting book through the Good and the Beautiful. So she knows that she's got to do at least 2 pages of her handwriting. This is another time that I think would really be good for the Explode the Code workbook. If you don't feel like they need handwriting practice, maybe doing Explode the Code, that's another great workbook. We're gonna do that in the fall, but I feel like Lila still needs a lot of work on handwriting, so for summer we're working on handwriting. And then from there, we're going to dive into our nature study. Nature study could be a whole nother video, but I'm just gonna give you guys the gist of it here. It is through Treehouse Schoolhouse. I said you guys would hear that name a lot. We love the Treehouse Schoolhouse nature studies. They are seasonal, so there's one for winter, spring, fall, and summer. And so let me see where I have that. So our first week, which I actually pick and chose which ones I wanted to do. For the spring, I printed all of them, and we ended up kind of doing the same thing where we bounced around. So this time I picked the ones that really stuck out to me and the ones that I wanted to take the kids through and that would apply to, like, you know, things we were doing, along with how I could create field trips to go along with them. So for the first week, we're doing caterpillars, moths, and butterflies. I love this unit. I actually have another video on Lila's channel where we grew our own butterflies. And so I actually ordered the butterflies from Amazon. We have a butterfly garden kit that we've had for a couple years, and I'm gonna link that below as well so you guys can check that out. But we're gonna grow our own butterflies, and they're gonna learn about caterpillars to then how they become butterflies. So we'll do our nature study, and this, I don't want to say it's meaty, but it's definitely going to take up a lot of our morning. So that's why, because there is like books that go along with it, she lays out everything though. So when I say it's meaty, it's not like a ton of prep because she does have Monday through Friday laid out here. It makes it super easy. Because we've done the butterflies in the past, I do know that they take a while to become butterflies. So I extended this for 2 weeks, and I'm just gonna add in some of my own crafts into it. That way Luke can participate as well. I would say the nature study is too old for him, so it's really gonna be geared towards Lila. And then I will add in like maybe some coloring sheets of butterflies and caterpillars and things like that so Luke could go along with it. But you can see here there's poems, there's folk songs, there's, you know, some writing activities. I love the artwork she adds into the nature study. I also love how she shows the life cycle. So beautiful, beautiful printouts here to display so the kids can look at them, as well as comparing with a Venn diagram. And then she goes on to add like optional activities to do, like a butterfly nectar and feeder, and so on. So I'm super excited to dive into this, and I will also share below the link for that, and you guys can check it out yourself. Like I said, she does have them for each season of the year. We loved the spring one, and that's actually where the butterfly one came from, but I never ordered the butterflies in time, so that's why we're doing this one now. So in summers past, I've actually created like themed weeks and did crafts and snacks and then, you know, field trips around there. And like, I was just talking to a friend the other day, telling her how we used to do like Ocean Week or, I don't know, Ice Cream Week. And then like the work would be themed around that. That's why I love this nature study, because we've kind of done that with the nature study. So since we're doing butterflies, we're going to have the butterfly garden. We'll be growing the butterflies. We'll do the butterfly crafts, and it allows Luke to participate as well because he is 2. He won't start like his actual curriculum work until probably age 4 or 5. I did start Lila a lot younger, and I've kind of been more thinking along the lines of starting him at age 5, just because I feel like I started Lila too early, if that's such a thing. But anyway, so it definitely allows me to include the younger, you know, my younger one as well. So that is Monday through Thursday, where we will do that. On Fridays, we have what's our Fun Friday, and during the I guess the fall part of our school year, I started implementing this because we have doctor's appointments and things like that. If you're a homeschooling mom, you get that. You have appointments, you have things that come up. So I like to have one day in the week, even like making phone calls or whatever I have to do that, you know, is required on a weekday. I like to have one day a week where the kids are expecting to have a good time, so we're gonna do something fun, but it also allows for that flexibility to have doctor's appointments and or whatever appointments scheduled on those Fridays, so it's not cutting into our normal school week. So we will still do our morning menus, and we will still do a science in the morning. Instead of doing the devotional though, we're going through the Good and the Beautiful, and this is Little Hearts and Hands, their science curriculum, and this I feel like allows Luke to participate a lot more. He's definitely able to understand this one better than the devotional itself. So I do this on Fridays while we're sitting around the table eating our breakfast, and then we'll start our Fun Friday. Fun Fridays consist of all kinds of things. If you follow me on Instagram, I do have a highlight showing some of the things. We've done our bounce house, we've done a camp out in the living room and just had like a movie day. We've done where we bake, we do art, we do all kinds of different things. So for Fun Friday, that's gonna be where we either make some sort of meal that associates with the nature study, or maybe one of those activities like the nectar feeder, things like that. And then we will also do the observation for the butterflies on that Friday. Now, I did say I extended that for 2 weeks, so we're basically gonna do the same thing that second week for the caterpillars, just so we give them a chance to turn into butterflies. Okay, so following nature study, I didn't add in a play break time because the nature study has several different elements. I knew that I probably would lose their attention if we kept going with bookwork. So on our schedule here, it does say play outside. Depending on the weather, we may get outside or we may stick to doing something indoors. I ordered some games off Amazon, which I will link, some really cool like sight word games, some addition and subtraction games. So I will put those in the description below, but really just giving them that time to break away. And then we will have lunch. So during that playtime will be the time I'm probably prepping lunch. And then following lunch, we will jump right into our book work. So we use the Good and the Beautiful for both reading our language arts and math. So we'll do math because Lila doesn't like math as much. So we're gonna do math first, you know, eat that frog. And then we'll do language arts following that. I do have it where some weeks we're doing more of the book work depending on how meaty that specific nature study is, because we're trying to get through her books this summer so we can start her second grade books in the fall. Sometimes it's just playing catch up a little bit. I do use the table of contents in the Good and the Beautiful. So if you guys have ever seen In the Good and the Beautiful, I love how the table of contents shows like unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and so I will typically mark like here where we want to be, and so I may put like finish by this date, and if Lila does get to that point and she finishes, then she gets some sort of reward, whether that be like an ice cream party or, you know, something of her choice, but something along those lines, maybe a family movie night or something like that. So I like the way this is laid out for that reason. So we'll do the Good and the Beautiful math, then the language arts, and then for the butterfly garden, she'll have like an observation in the afternoon, and then that will close out our school day. So in summers past, I've actually created like themed weeks and did crafts and snacks and then, you know, field trips around there. And like I was just talking to a friend the other day, telling her how we used to do like Ocean Week or I don't know, Ice Cream Week. And then like the work would be themed around that. That's why I love this nature study, because we've kind of done that with the nature study. So since we're doing butterflies, we're going to have the butterfly garden. We'll be growing the butterflies. We'll do the butterfly crafts, and it allows Luke to participate as well because he is 2. He won't start like his actual curriculum work until probably age 4 or 5. So that is Monday through Thursday, where we will do that. On Fridays, we have what's our Fun Friday, and during the I guess the fall part of our school year, I started implementing this because we have doctor's appointments and things like that. If you're a homeschooling mom, you get that. You have appointments, you have things that come up. So I like to have one day in the week, even like making phone calls or whatever I have to do that, you know, is required on a weekday. I like to have one day a week where the kids are expecting to have a good time, so we're gonna do something fun, but it also allows for that flexibility to have doctor's appointments and or whatever appointments scheduled on those Fridays, so it's not cutting into our normal school week. So we will still do our morning menus, and we will still do a science in the morning. Instead of doing the devotional though, we're going through the Good and the Beautiful, and this is Little Hearts and Hands, their science curriculum. And this, I feel like, allows Luke to participate a lot more. He's definitely able to understand this one better than the devotional itself. So I do this on Fridays while we're sitting around the table eating our breakfast, and then we'll start our Fun Friday. Fun Fridays consist of all kinds of things. If you follow me on Instagram, I do have a highlight showing some of the things. We've done our bounce house, we've done a camp out in the living room and just had like a movie day. We've done where we bake, we do art, we do all kinds of different things. So for Fun Friday, that's going to be where we either make some sort of meal that associates with the nature study, or maybe one of those activities like the nectar feeder, things like that. Okay, and so from there, our schedule pretty much looks like that each week. The only thing that's going to change is the nature study themes and the crafts to follow, as well as the little hearts and hands. I tried to pick one of the, what do you call it? One of the units or one of the topics that would fit best with our nature study. And if they didn't have one that fitted, I just picked one that would, I guess, be as closely related as possible, just to not like throw a ton of information at them all at once. So I do love this science curriculum. So like I said, the only thing that's really going to change week to week is the nature study, and then just how many lessons we're trying to get through with the good and the beautiful, math and language arts. So I have everything laid out here up until when we start doing our field trip. So like we're gonna do, I guess I should take you guys through what weeks we're gonna do. So we're gonna do the caterpillars and butterflies. Then we're gonna do seashells week, which for this field trip, we're just going to take a walk on the beach to find the different seashells. Then we have marine mammals and sharks and fish, which at the end of those two, we will go to our local aquarium. And then we have storms, which I really couldn't think of a field trip for that. Honestly, we get enough storms here in our state that it'll probably just be good enough. And then we have reptiles, which we're gonna go to this alligator adventure place because that's the closest thing I could find. And they do have a lot of reptiles there. So that is our summer units broken down. Like I said, I love that the Treehouse Schoolhouse really took the guesswork out of planning, because in years past I have done the themed weeks and had to come up with all of the content. It was a lot, but I don't know why summer just is so refreshing to just kind of dive, you know, all the way in as far as learning. And you know, we get to do this alongside our kids, so it makes it a lot of fun, and it gives that, you know, freedom to do whatever you want to do through the school year, truly, because you know, if you do year-round schooling, you can take the breaks when you need to and the vacations when you want to, and still be able to make your state requirements as far as attendance goes. So that is pretty much it. I will be sharing week to week on Instagram. I feel like it's a lot easier, and I may do a recap on here to share with you guys how things are going, maybe like a month end recap to share with you guys. I also was considering doing a video on curriculum printing, because I did decide to jump into printing the Good and the Beautiful curriculum myself. I feel like that would be a helpful video for you guys, because when I originally purchased the Good and the Beautiful, I did not know that you could access their PDFs for free. And so when I figured that out, I said, okay, it's time to invest in a printer that would hold up with printing that many pages and a binding machine. The only regret I have is getting a 𝐭𝐿 binding machine and not a coil one, because the binding is different. This you can't like flip around in itself, but they do lay flat, so it's not horrible. But I will most likely be doing a video on that to come. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know. I will be posting links in the description for you guys to check out, and I will put my Instagram up here so you guys can check that out. And I hope to have you guys follow me over there so we can connect more. And if you are homeschooling this summer, good luck. I hope you guys have a great time. And if you're still on the fence about doing year-round homeschool, honestly, you guys, I was so hesitant about it, but it's truly been such a blessing, and it's been great for our family. So my advice would be to try it. If it's not for you, that's totally fine. Obviously, year-round schooling is not for everyone, and maybe your state requirements are different than ours, but if you are able to do it, I say give it a try and just see, you know, see what happens from there. I feel like with homeschooling, you really do have to be willing to try new things and also know when things aren't working out. I've had to, you know, switch curriculums and things when I didn't really want to, because I felt like I've already spent all this money on it, like, you know, I don't want to switch. But you have to know when to change things up when things aren't working, and just, you know, be able to try new things. So I hope this video is helpful for you guys. If you do have any questions, I'm here, and I hope you all have a great day.